Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto Snooze. With you, as always, myself, Bob, and I got my brother with me, Mr. Scott Tripp, aka the Crypto Beast. As you guys know, we like to take a couple minutes out of our day, kind of get together, go through some news headlines, bring them to your attention and see what you guys feel about them. As you guys know, one of the admins over here at BigONE, we always try to bring some positive news to you guys week by or day by day. But I think a little bit of the market's just been a little bit of shaky, like we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. But before we get into everything today, I'll let Scott come in, tell you a little bit about himself, and then we'll get right into the news today.
Hey, Scott Tripp or Crypto Beast 32, work on BigONE as well as Asia blockchain community. So happy to be here, excited to be here. Glad that it's the start of a new week.
Yeah, man. To me, it still feels like the weekend. I feel like the only thing we've been looking forward to is the weekend, and we look forward to the weekend for a kind of sigh of relief for not having to work. I guess traditionally, in the sense of working Monday through Friday, but also it's the only time I even see any pumps in the market. So we just been getting those weekend pumps, and when I first got into crypto, a wise guy told me, never trust the weekend pump. Again, this weekend we had a little bit of a pump on Friday and Saturday, and then right back into the decline over here on Monday. And to me, I keep talking about this accumulation zone, and I'm not sure when people are looking to get back into the market, but I mean all the signs are pointing that this will be the accumulation zone. I think even if the market, did decide to go down a little bit more. You're not shooting yourself in the foot picking up here. And if you're waiting for a breakout, you could be waiting too late because the market could just turn on and just go back without you. So I think that this is a fair accumulation zone. But as always, not financial advice, just something I'm looking at when I'm looking at the markets. But we'll look at that a little bit later on in the show. But without further ado, we'll get right into the first headline today. My first one's coming from Cointelegraph. The headline reads, OpenSeas surpasses 3.5 billion in monthly Ether trading volume, setting an all-time new high. So the record trading volume was set on Sunday was 261 million. And then this far alone, they've been able to average around 169 million on average per day. So it looks like OpenSea might have heard about Looking and was like, hey, look, man, this is what we do. Okay. Like who else wants to drop some collection? But it goes on to say that with 2 more weeks left in January, NMT Marketplace has seen monthly trading volume exceed 3.5 billion for the first time ever. According to the data on Dune Analytics, OpenSea has surpassed all-time high of 3.42 set in August 2021 to establish an all-time new high, surpassing the $3.5 billion market in the Ether trading volume. So the surge in the NFT trading volume appears to be fueled by the price increase in Bored Apes, its sibling collection, also the Macy and the base Backsea, which is the Bored Apes Kennel Club, which has a large number of celebrity owners, is still the most popular NFT collection on OpenSea with 14,306 ETH, which is about 47 million traded in the last 24 hours. So it looks like that OpenSea is definitely getting propped up by Bored Apes and the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, as well as the Bored Ape Kennel Club. Sounds like those guys have been doing their thing and boosting up this trading volume for OpenSea. So good news for the people holding those, and congratulations to everybody who's involved.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Those two groups have definitely done some impressive marketing. I seen on Twitter the Bored Ape Club saying things like, I didn't need my Lamborghini anymore, so I bought a Bored Ape instead. Or there was one that was a Lockheed Jet that the guy was standing beside. I didn't need my Lockheed Jet anymore. I bought a Bored Ape.
I'm telling you, I think those Bored Apes kind of lured in the celebrities a little bit, right? And gave them a chance to flex their money digitally. And it's starting to work, because I know in other news they were talking about that kid Sultan Gustav Al Ghazali, the 22-year-old computer scientist from Indonesia. He became a billionaire by turning 1,000 selfies into NFTs and selling them on OpenSea. So the NFTs is definitely starting to, kind of remind me of that 2017 feel with DeFi.
Yeah, definitely. And then what I got here is, I'm going to do the first one. I'm just experiencing the issues with this right now. So crypto.com suspends withdrawals following unauthorized activity. Sorry. The Hong Kong-based firm announced via Twitter early on Monday that it would be pausing withdrawals shortly while it's investigating reports of suspicious activity on user accounts. All funds were safe, it said. Several hours later, the exchange issued an update advising it would be required to sign back into their accounts and reset two-factor authentication. At 1600, the CEO tweeted that final checks were being made prior to withdrawals being resumed in the following 30 to 60 minutes. Crypto exchanges have been known to suspend withdrawals and other services during spikes in demand at periods of high volatility. One of the most recent such occasions was in November when Binance disabled all crypto withdrawals due to a large backlog. I don't think it's because of activity on crypto.com. There has to be more to it, a hack or something potentially that might happen that we might hear about in the next few days, I'm assuming, or they're trying to stop something before it becomes a big issue. So good on them for taking the proactive action to stop it. That's definitely for sure. But yeah.
Yeah, I hate that we never find out everything that really goes on when they do shut down the network until somebody really exposes it. That first day, it's always like, oh, no, it was just, I accidentally set on the keypad, right?
I did just open that email.
And then all of a sudden we find out they gave the C phrase their ex-girlfriend or something like it just goes to show, guys, these hacks happen on a lot of different levels. I was reading something about Mongoose. I'm not sure how many of you guys are involved in there. Mongoose was something that Ben Sherman, one of the senators or congressmen here in the States, kind of made a joke about when they had their trading conference, or they were talking about cryptocurrencies in that conference. And he said Mongoose would eat Cobra, and then all of a sudden Mongoose took and surged. And then today I seen that they got rugged. And they didn't even, they were talking about the dev was inactive and the community was going to take it over, and the community was hyped, but then nobody ever thought about like, hey, are they going to snapshot our current position? And no snapshots have been taken. So I think that, potentially the people at the top did go ahead and dump their bags. But I'm glad to see crypto.com being proactive and shutting down the network, because that is the first thing you need to do. But yeah, anytime there might be some kind of fraudulent, maybe a red or white hat hacker, maybe their wallet or something tagged to their wallet runs across your blockchain. Sometimes these guys, they get right into it and try to break it down, because things can open up for hacks, and that's all it takes is for them to see where the rewards are coming from, and then they can backdoor the rewards. So definitely good for crypto.com to take evasive action and try to get away from that. But definitely I don't think that this would be the last piece of news on it. I'll guarantee you. Just because you remember when Bitmart was like, oh man, we just lost like a couple thousand tokens of whatever. It was like, bro, like $64 million. And it's just like, those hack stories always scare me just because. But my next article is actually going to come from BigONE.com. We've been talking a little bit about the market going, like on a down, not really like I will say it's a little bit of a downtrend. We've been down for about 35 to 40% of Bitcoin's top at 69,000. But the thing is as these things start, consolidating more, we always talk about look for other things to start pumping. And that's what this article talks about. It says 15 privacy coins see double-digit weekly gains. Monero jumps 13%. Secret gains 50%. Despite the fact that despite the fact that regulations have tightened and the bureaucrats worldwide are scrutinizing cryptocurrency usage, a few privacy coins had jumped considerably high in the value over the last week. Monero jumps 13% in the last 7 days, while Secret increased 50%. Dusk spiked 47% this past week. So it goes on to say this week, a few privacy-centric cryptocurrency assets have seen double-digit gains over the last 7 days, according to the metrics steaming from CoinGecko's .com's list of privacy coin market capitalizations. There's 12.2 billion worth of these type of assets. Monero is one of the largest. Zcash holds the second largest, and Secret It's in their top 20. So it just looks like, some of these other coins that they go on to name in order 1 through 10 that they're talking about was Monero, Zcash, Secret, Decred, Horizon, Flux, Digibyte, New Cipher, Dusk, and Keep Network. So it looks like, what sounds like that the original punks are still back at it. I don't know how many people know this. A lot of these coins, especially Bitcoin, it didn't come off as a public coin. These are actually kind of like privacy coins that people are using as digitized cash online to validate transactions for them to purchase things. So no secret here. When there's I always think about the people with the privacy coins. For me, somehow it kind of takes me back to those punk days and just thinking like these guys, they're really the old school version of it all, right? And they're just like, man, we're gonna stick by. We don't want the government in our business, but not only that, we don't even want you in our business. And that's how my granddad would be, right? Like, so like I think it's good for the privacy coins because I think that every sector needs its own run, right, or its own push.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. And I mean, there's always going to be a market for that side of cryptocurrency. I know there is. Like, there's a lot of people that are getting sick of a lot of stuff. So it's kind of nice to have that side available.
You know what's funny is that they always try to pin it to like that these privacy coins are like, for like drugs and scams and things like that. But in reality, a lot of it's just that they really it's people who just really don't want the government in their business, and they don't want their neighbor in their business either. They want to just live their life and manage their own finance. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No. And my next article, it's kind of funny. We talked about this last week before we left. It's not funny. It's sad for them. I feel bad for them. But Tonga accepts Bitcoin donations amid tsunami onslaught. On Friday, the Kingdom of Tonga experienced a shockwave of a massive volcano eruption of the Hunga Happy volcano. Hapa High. I don't know.
Hit me with something. Did you try to spell me?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry about that
one. More eruptions ensued after the first, leaving the citizens of Tonga, the main island, to face down a tsunami. Amid the difficulties, crypto holders expressed their sympathy and intent to donate Bitcoin BTC to help with the relief operation. Twitter user On Air Blair urged Bitcoin supporters and former Tongan lawmaker Lord Fasitu to set up a wallet address where people can donate Bitcoin for Tonga relief funds. With a wave of up to 1.2 meters, about 4 feet, covering roads and properties, people started fleeing to higher ground to escape. At the time of writing, there has been no casualties reported. However, air and water contamination are now some of the immediate concerns. So you know what? I'm super happy with the Bitcoin community stepping up to donate money and do something good for a country that was especially looking at implementing Bitcoin. The thing, yeah, it's interesting. The whole idea that this cryptocurrency could make such a huge change for them after something like this happens. So, I mean, in the same sense, I know they didn't implement it yet, but they were looking into it. So this gives it another reason to further the development of Bitcoin into that country. They're my thoughts, and yeah, I hope.
I mean, it kind of goes to show. It kind of goes to show the government takes profit off of anything that happens, even catastrophic incidents or things like that. For them to know that they're going to eventually take on Bitcoin as a potential payment, I don't think that this storm stops any of that. I know that this is the way to get free Bitcoin already in the country, and even if there was some form of Bitcoiners that came together and they allotted a certain amount of money to go to the country, we wouldn't actually, or that group wouldn't actually know how it was spent or where it was funded, because it would channel through so many different wallets and so many different holders. But it is good to see that, the country is reaching out for help. There will be people that helps. There's always people that's always in a more fortunate situation that'll look out for people in a less fortunate situation. I think that's a part of making the world go round. So definitely, I think that was a great article. But yeah, at the end of the day, to brighten it back up, I hope you didn't cast a spell on me. All right, to jump into my last article, and this is going to be interesting because I was just kind of sitting over here glancing at the screen, and this coming from Cointelegraph as well. The headline reads: Spanish government will implement new rules for crypto ads. So the CNMV will require advertisers to report 10 days before running ads targeting 100,000 people or more. So it looks like they aren't really open for, or it sounds like the government isn't really open for crypto to be talked about in a mass setting. And while I was sitting over here reading this article, I just couldn't help but to glance over to the right, and I read another article that says Singapore bars crypto service providers from advertising in public spaces. So and then to jump back into this article, to read into it, it says the new rules also require advertisers targeting 100,000 people or more to inform the regulators 10 days in advance. After the initial report, the remaining ad activities will be supervised by the CNMV, but will not require advanced reporting. So it does sound like a little bit of this is going to be just implemented for just proprietary reasons, just to kind of see what the company is and how their advertising strategy. But it doesn't look like you would have to do this every time. And it goes on to say that the UK's Advertising Standards Authority, or the ASA, is also cracking down on crypto ads. Last year, the advertising regulator took down ads made by crypto firms Coinbase, Kraken, eToro, and others for ad violations. More recently, ASA banned 2 mobile app ads by Crypto.com. So it does look like it almost sounds like that the regulating parties are like, okay, you guys can have your crypto and you do it within your community, but don't tear up our working class. Don't tear up what we have and what we sit on. And if you're going to advertise, we need to see it first. And if you're going to be advertising to more than 100,000 people, we also need to validate that this is going to be something real. Now, that could be one side of it that I'm seeing, or they could be looking at it as, hey, look, guys, we don't want anybody just posted ads and potentially rugging you at the end of the day. And that might be the way that they come across and plan it, but I don't think so. I think that, the government's not telling these people to do it because they think it's the wrong thing to do, or they think that it's going to be a lot of malicious actors involved. I just think that, they're just going to start with this kind of regulation. They're going to see what they can get away with, and then they'll try to, do something else.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of funny kicking off your article. I'm going to go with the same kind of article. Singapore prohibits crypto firms from advertising publicly. So
look at that.
Singapore's top financial regulator has barred public crypto advertisements and crypto ATMs from operations. So authorities in Singapore have stepped up their regulatory oversight of the crypto industry with new guidelines prohibiting crypto service providers from promoting their services. And then just reading here a little bit more. Aside from prohibiting public crypto advertisements, the regulators also intend to bar crypto-enabled ATMs from operating within the country. According to Mass, enabling easy access to these machines can mislead the public to trade in DPTs on impulse without considering the risks of trading in DPTs. The move will undoubtedly affect several crypto businesses operating in the country. So this is not the first time Singapore has publicly maintained a harsh stance towards the crypto industry. The Asian country has repeatedly made moves that look to stifle the growth of the burgeoning industry in its space. The weird thing is, they do that, but in the end, they're not, I don't think they're still going to be able to control cryptocurrency, because you don't need an ATM to go get your cryptocurrency. There's other things you can use. But even in the same sense, why would they do that? An economy like Singapore, I think, would benefit with cryptocurrency. So I don't get what they're doing. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they're softening up the blow for digital currency. Like, hey, look, we're going to show you guys how to regulate it, but not only that, we're going to get you guys comfortable with it. But then when you get comfortable with it, it'll just be our currency that's allowed. And it almost sounds like that. I'm not sure why, Singapore would, take this stand. It kind of seems like countries are going back and forth. It just seems like I said, it just seems like they're trying to put their form of regulation on it, seeing how much they can get controlled, and then taking it from there. But I don't see, I'm kind of like you in the sense of, as Web3 and decentral internet pushes itself more across for the rollout in, this year, 2023, I think that, you're going to have that freedom of that real freedom of speech and the freedom of ads. You're going to be able to see whatever kind of ads you want. So yeah, I think that, right now they will be able to, they will go out and tell people, they're doing this to protect the majority of the public, because a lot of the majority of the public really don't know about cryptocurrencies and could, get out there and potentially trade some harmful currency. So like I said, I look at it both ways, or I try to look at it both ways, just to kind of, get a fair picture of both sides. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump over to our favorite little section, and that's the trading view, to kind of look at the total market cap and also look at the two of the top dominance factors to kind of see what's going on. As we dabble over back to the total market cap, oh wow, we just got back to the $2 trillion range. We had went back to 1.9 just a few minutes right before the show started, and the market has been, bouncing around the day, mostly on a little trajectory heading down. The Bitcoin dominance is at 39.84, which is up higher from the weekend, and the Ethereum dominance is kind of still stagnant in that 19.13, 19.12 range. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. I don't feel like, everybody will continue to sit stable on the sidelines. I think, people are waiting for a little bit more of a confirmed breakout, and maybe potentially they'll go up and add to their positions, or, get ready to lock in for the ride. But there is a little bit of stuff going on in the news with regulations coming in on the 23rd. What is it, 25th of this month or 23rd, Scott? They're having
June. Yeah.
Yeah. So that should be next week. So we'll be paying close attention over the next week, kind of see how the market behaves. I don't think it'll overperform. I don't think it'll underperform. I think it'll just kind of just stay around and keep everybody bored. But as always, guys, we appreciate you tuning in with us. We'll be back here again tomorrow to give you guys some more great news. And as always, make sure you like, comment, or subscribe down below and let us know how we're doing. But before we get out of here, Scott, you want to conclude with anything?
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say have a great day. Keep a positive mindset. That's what this is all about. Don't worry about what's happening right now, because it all can change with a flick of a switch. You never know what the market is going to.
I got the switch.
Happen. The States might have the switch right now. Who knows?
We will know. But until tomorrow, guys. Peace.
Peace. Have a great day.